The message of the show, if there is a message to me, is that we all can learn from living a little bit of everybody else's life. The old expression of, you know, walk a mile in somebody else's shoes. I'm doing that literally.
I think most Jewish moms would love their sons to be a doctor, so mine got the second best thing, you know. I got to do what I wanted, and she could say I play a doctor.
Hi, I'm John Tesh, and today on One-on-One, we visit with two men who star in offbeat series which have become critical successes with reviewers and cult hits with audiences. Quantum Leap star Scott Bakula started his career on Broadway and earned a Tony nomination in 1988 for his performance in the musical Romance. He lost out to Michael Crawford in Phantom of the Opera, but the next year stepped into the role of Sam Beckett, and he's been successfully changing roles ever since. And Northern Exposure's Rob Morrow. He plays Sicily, Alaska's well-educated professional, Dr. Joel Fleischman. But off-screen, Rob dropped out of high school to pursue acting. Now he says he's thrilled with the show's success, and his mother is thrilled to have a son who's a nice Jewish doctor. Stay tuned for Scott Bakula and Rob Morrow.
On the next Live, you loved him as Mike Siefer on...
Quantum Leap is an actor's dream. The science fiction series crosses the boundaries of time, space, and dress. Scott Bakula gets under the skin of a different man or woman every week.
I'm in labor and I'm having this baby.
Who's she trying to convince, us or herself?
After a rough start in 1989, Quantum Leap has found its audience, and Bakula has found success.
Oh, boy.
He's even featured in a Quantum Leap comic book.
You sure these space guys haven't been reading too much science fiction? Get out of here.
But Bakula's first starring role in a TV series came in 1986 on I-Man. He played a cab driver who inhaled a mysterious alien gas and gained superpowers. The character was indestructible, but the series wasn't, and was off the air before anyone took notice of the young Broadway actor trying to break into television. That same year, Bakula starred in Gung Ho, a TV series derived from the movie by that same name.
We'll be right back.
But the TV series lost something in translation and was not back for another season.
Now tell me why we love you like we do.
In 1988, he tried another TV series. Eisenhower and Lutz was on the air less than 3 months.
But me, oh my.
Born 37 years ago in St. Louis, Missouri, Scott Bakula has been married to his wife, Krista, for 10 years, and they have 2 children.
Can I come in?
Oh, yeah.
In 1990, he made his feature film debut opposite Kirstie Alley in Sibling Rivalry. And last year, he starred in the football comedy Necessary Roughness.
If we get in that end zone, you're not going to feel any pain.
The movie didn't score, and it was no laughing matter that Bakula ended up with several injuries while filming his own action scenes. The acting doesn't get any softer for him on television because in his next TV movie, In the Shadow of a Killer, he plays an undercover cop who opposes the death penalty. The story is based on a real New York City detective who arrested a cop killer and then had to testify in court. And, of course, there will be the continuing exploits, bumps, and bruises on Quantum Leap.
I know actors that have looked at Quantum Leap and just said it's an actor's dream because you have, I mean, you pick up a script and you can be anybody in a given week.
It's always different, and I'm almost always challenged in one way or another in each episode. So it can be something that I've never done before, so I have to go out and learn how to hang from a trapeze, or it can just be a whole, I'm a woman and I've just been raped and I'm in a, you know, a whole episode about rape. And that's a whole another kind of challenge. So, you know, to be able to work at something that you love and then be challenged all the time and be asked to be creative almost every day, that's really great.
I would think that playing all the different characters that you have on Quantum Leap would be tremendous therapy for you. We can go a million different ways here, but you've played more than a few women.
Yeah.
What has that taught you about yourself?
You know, it is great therapy. Everything is great therapy. The message of the show, if there is a message to me, is that we all can learn from living a little bit of everybody else's life. The old expression of, walk a mile in somebody else's shoes. I'm doing that literally. I've learned so much about being a woman, and I know it sounds silly to say, but in the beginning it was all about how am I going to survive being in these clothes all day? Because it's totally painful. It's everything hurt. You feel like you're wrapped up and constricted, depending on the time period. And, I'm going home and my wife is just laughing. She's, remember that every time I talk about being cold? Well, tomorrow when you're in the nylons on the back lot and the wind is blowing, and that's all you got on, you'll understand what I'm talking about. And of course, she's right. And we've had some just really wonderful shows that have exposed me to a lot of different situations, and it's been incredible. And that helps you as an actor.
Is there a durability factor as an actor, especially what you're doing now on your series?
I haven't missed a day of work yet since we started the series. I did a show, one whole episode with a dislocated foot, and we just rewrote the script, and I fell at the beginning of that episode, and I limped for a while, and the next episode I still wasn't well, so we shot me in the leg at the beginning. But, you just have to keep going, and it helps to be in shape, I think.
In the era in which you were growing up, all of us wanted to be rock and rollers, and that's what you were doing. You were singing and playing in a rock band. Did you see yourself doing that professionally? Well, you did it professionally, actually.
Yeah,
playing dances and things, right?
Yeah, I made money at it. It was a great hobby. I mean, we just had a ball. I know we drove neighbors and parents crazy, but we played at parties, we played at dances. I started in the 4th grade with a beetle mop on my head, and cardboard guitars, and lip syncing to the Beatles. And it was a great kind of camaraderie thing to do with a bunch of your friends. But it was just a blast. It really, in the purest sense of the word, I loved the music, and it was just, we played and played and played until, people told us to stop.
Mm-hmm. How old were you when you left school
Well,
and went to New York?
I went to New York right before, no, I guess I was 21. I left school after my sophomore year. So I'd never been to New York. And when I think back, as we get older, we get more scared about everything.
Right.
I had my Boy Scout knapsack that I'd had for 20 years, packed with radios and all my gear. I think I had a duffel bag and maybe a hanging. I had anything I could hold, I had.
How much money did you have?
This is really the dumbest thing. I think I had about $700 or $800 total.
No place to stay?
No, I really was totally unprepared.
But is there a story about, slugging it out and the city of hard knocks, or did it, from what I read, it came easily for you, didn't it?
Yes and no. It will sound like it came easily. The 3rd day I was there, I had a job in a show, in a non-equity dinner theater in North Carolina doing Shenandoah, doing a very nice part in Shenandoah. And it was just a total fluke that I happened to arrive on a Wednesday, and I showed up in an audition on Thursday, had a call back Friday, and I was calling my parents on Friday night saying, I'm going to be in a show in North Carolina, and they're going to pay me $100 a week plus room and board. And we start rehearsal in a week, and I'm going to be gone all fall, and I've arrived. Now, in the meantime, I'm staying at this horrible transient hotel on the west side, sharing a bathroom down the hall, and just kind of, coming in and locking myself in every night in somewhat fear of who I was living with.
Now, Quantum Leap, how did you get that gig? Where did that come from?
It's just your basic, old-fashioned, my agent got a call from a casting director. And I said, well, send me the script. And they sent 2 scenes over. And from these 2 scenes, I said, well, this is great.
Quantum Leap wasn't successful right away, was it?
No.
Do you think it's because people didn't understand it?
I think partly. It's been a terribly difficult show to describe. And
how would you describe it?
I give up. I quit. I just say, watch the show. I don't have to anymore. That's really the nicest thing about being on for a while.
With demands of a show like Quantum Leap and all the rest of the stuff you're doing, feature films and TV movies, how do you have time to have a family life?
The family it's been difficult. It really has been. It's been an adjustment. Each year has been a progression. My relationship with my wife is altered. It alters during the year, during the course of the shooting. Everyone starts out hopeful and buoyant about it. It's going to be a quick, breezy year. Everything's going to be wonderful. And somewhere around November, it starts to look like you're never going to get out of the year. So it's just changed my whole way of looking at family. I grew up with my dad home basically probably within an hour of the same time almost every night, 5 nights a week. And my kids don't have that at all. So you cram stuff in. You try and, you know, give everything you can, as much as you can, to your family whenever you're with them. And that's not always, everybody's not always ready for you to cram stuff in and to be, you know, there 100% focused and like, okay, because I'm coming at it from one point. I'm basically interrupting their life for a few days every week, and then I'm gone. So they really have to adjust to being without me, and then I'm kind of like a weekend dad and husband. So it's been really strenuous at times, because I really miss the kids growing up. And I like being home. I mean, I like to hang out. I like to be around the house, and I like to play. And I don't get to do that much anymore.
Up next is Rob Morrow.
New Kellogg's Just Right versus...